for another week of Coach's Show. We just finished up a weekend at home versus the New Mexico Ice Wolves. We're looking ahead for another weekend against New Mexico. After this past weekend, what's our biggest reset message in the locker room heading into this weekend?
I think for us, it's been a big defensive-minded reset for us. I mean, letting up 9 goals on the weekend in 2 games is nothing you ever want to see on a Sunday. So that for us has been one of the biggest focuses this week in practice is making sure that we're resetting ourselves mentally to have that defensive first mindset going into this weekend again against a very offensive team.
We have Teacher Appreciation Night on Friday. Who has been a big teacher or mentor that's impacted your life?
So when I was living in California, in elementary school, middle school, lady by the name of Kathy Jesse, Miss Jesse. She was the principal and then the assistant principal once I moved up. And she was the biggest LA Kings fan.
Okay.
And every time, there would be times where she would call me to her office just because her son, much older than me at the time, also played hockey. And so I was her favorite. And so Miss Jessie would always pull me in to show me maybe a new jersey or something that her son got her for a LA Kings game. And I always thought I was going to be in trouble, or she would give me a little pennant or something like that. So that's always been one that I think when you look at what you're doing in school, all the schooling stuff like that, but someone that took an interest in what you're interested in, that was Kathy Jesse, living in Southern California there, growing up. And so that, I think, has been one of the best and biggest influences from a teacher standpoint, and just the support that she always gave me as a 10, 11, all the way up to 13 years old before my family moved off to Minnesota and Texas.
Very nice. If you could have one superpower behind the bench, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, I think that would be the superpower to always be right. See, my wife has that superpower,
right.
So I gotta figure out how she does it. You know what I mean? But in talking to the players, making sure that you're always accurate and what you're saying to them, making sure that you're not giving them some false coaching stuff too, or something that you don't see, and also advice to the refs to always be right on that, because the refs are always right as well. So that's one thing that we always have to make sure that we play through. So I think that would be my superpower, to always be right.
What does it mean for the sport to see Team USA win both gold for men and women's?
I think it's big time. It is unbelievable. We're watching, I was picking up my daughters from school when the women were playing, and I actually have this little box in my vehicle that plays, I could play TV in my vehicle when I'm parked. And we parked when it was the women's OT, and my daughter, who just got into hockey this year, was so excited. She was confused, that was it, we won it? And so for her to see that too was unbelievable. I mean, you see what that does in sparking the generations, and I think it's huge for the sport, especially the men's as well. I look at the influence of how I had my start was growing up in Southern California and seeing Wayne Gretzky play. Just something like that is a huge influence on you as a person, as a player, and trying to get into the sport when I was 5 years old and stuff, watching him in Southern California, and that's a big push. And you see demographically in the early 90s, you had a huge incline of ice hockey players from Southern California. So hopefully for what this does for the US is just push a huge incline in the population, that players or you just find more hockey players that are going to get involved in the sport and grow the game in the right way, both for men and women.
With the big success that Team USA has had at the Olympics, how do you see that impacting junior hockey?
I think it's just you have a whole lot of camaraderie go around in junior hockey with that. I mean, we have a team of Americans and all different nationalities. It was very exciting, just how World Juniors comes around every December as well. You always have some inner team mingling and battling about what team is going to be best. Like when you talk to Ian Bures here, the Canadian, the native Canada, it's a lot of bashing on your bros kind of deal, and it's a lot of fun. How it impacts junior hockey in a way, I think it just like gives the players that extra push and motivation. Like, we want to be the best at this sport, and for the last 2 weeks, the USA hockey for men's and women proved that a little bit. And there's the huge controversy about you decide who the best team was. Obviously, the best team is going to win the hockey game, but you might not have the best players in the world, right? And so that's where I look at that comment that was made by a player on Canada about who the best team was. The best team's going to win the hockey game, but the best team doesn't always have the best players in the world. And I think that's what happened there. You have a huge brotherhood on the USA team, and sisterhood with the women's winning it like they did. So I think that's that there is what you're going to be finding out of this in junior hockey. You're going to have some more brotherhoods being grown and families being birthed out of this kind of deal of just how the game is in general.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Loka. Perfect.
We're now joined with assistant coach Lucas Stern. What's something fans might not notice that you guys have been working heavily on in practice this week?
One thing that I think fans wouldn't notice that goes kind of behind the scenes is really just the teaching that's getting done by Hillsy and myself, and just how we're trying to really dial in on the small details in our defensive zone, and really just tighten up some things that to the average hockey fan, like, you wouldn't notice, like, which way your stick is facing, if you're stopping left versus right. The average hockey fan may not notice something like that, but to us, like, those small details are huge.
So what are those small details that can shift the momentum in a game as big as playing New Mexico this weekend?
Something that's going to really change, that can really change the momentum of a game is, like, a block shot, or really just coming back on the track and putting in that extra effort to eliminate New Mexico or Odessa or whoever we may be playing from getting just a simple shot on net. That's, to us, like, that's huge, and it doesn't always get the biggest reaction from the fans, but on the bench, like, everyone's getting energized for it. Everyone's excited when we see those things.
Perfect. If you had to give this team a report card right now, what category are they getting an A in?
I think this team really gets an A in just showing up every single day, ready to put the work in, whether that's getting a cut on your face from skating head first into someone's cage, or just fighting through some adversity. Like, this team's done a really good job in the past month at just being resilient, I think, and they definitely get an A in that.
Which guy on the team would definitely be a villain instead of a superhero?
I think the guy that would act most like a villain is probably the guy that looks the most like a villain, so I'm going to go with Mason Luba.
Okay, and why is that?
He just looks like he's a villain, just
chilling.
Yeah, just up to no good all the time.
Right. Okay. What message does Team USA's success send to young players in Amarillo?
There's a lot of things that could really be taken away from USA's gold medal. The willingness to, not give in when the stakes are high, doing all the little things right. Like, those guys eat the right food, they get enough sleep every night, their, just work ethic is off the charts. But really, it's like, really what you can take away from it is when you hear those guys talk, like, they're not doing it for themselves. You hear Jack Hughes talk about, scoring the golden goal, and he doesn't mention himself once. So, like, really it's doing it for the guys next to you and putting others before yourself. You know, I think that's something that was really demonstrated by every single person on that team, and you know, that's something that can really be learned and learned from and taken, not just from younger hockey players, but anyone that's playing sports and is a young student athlete. So,
Very nice. Thank you, Coach Stern.
thanks, Loco.
We're now joined with NA3 defensive player Charles Tonley. First off, sweep in Tulsa. What was working so well this weekend?
I think our team just bought into the system. We followed Wrangler hockey, and that's all it really is. If you just buy in and you just kind of work as a team, you get it done.
So with that sweep, what does that do for team confidence moving into the games this weekend?
I'm really confident that we can go into the weekend and have success as long as we keep buying in and playing to the system and working hard, outworking the other team. It's a team game, and we have to work together if we want to seal the deal and win the game.
You came here and visited last year, and then you got to come back and play this year for the NA3 team. What does that mean for you, and what does that mean in the organization?
I think there's a lot of really good things about being a Wrangler, but on top of everything, they really emphasize the process, and that alone is really important when you want to have success in anything, whether it's in hockey, whether it's in life. Showing up every day and taking the steps to get better and to have success is what really counts.
Very nice. What are you focused on developing with and helping you take you to the next step?
I'm focused on using everything that the Wranglers have to offer me as a player, which just really includes, you know, unlimited facilities, unlimited gym, you know, skills, practice every single day, you know, video sessions, team analytics, anything you can really use from A to Z, they have it here. And I can use all those tools to become a better hockey player every single day and work on every aspect of my game.
Very nice. Thank you so much. We look forward to watching you play soon.
All right, thank you.
We're now joined with forward Ian Biors. Wrangler Nation is now seeing you more in the lineup after a little mid-season setback. Tell us how it's been getting back into things.
It's been great. It's been awesome getting back involved with the boys. Like being out for 2.5 months with an injury, that sucks. But you got to deal with it sometimes. But yeah, it's been great and like so fun playing in front of the fans, and it's electric at home. Gotta love it.
Very nice. How do you respond as a forward when it seems like scoring might be a little tough?
You just got to find other ways to have an impact on the game, being good in the defensive zone, playing body when you can, and like, yeah, just finding a way to have impact even when you're not scoring.
If you had to teach a class, what would the subject be? Could
Probably-
be anything.
Probably gym class.
Gym class?
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. What superhero best describes your playing
The
style?
Hulk, because I'm the biggest and strongest on the team.
We're now joined with forward Jake Thornton. What's key for you and your line to generate more offense this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, good offense starts with good defense. So I guess playing well in the D zone and being really good on the forecheck, and it starts from there.
Very nice. How important is crowd energy on big theme nights that we have this weekend?
It's huge. It's huge. The crowd is always huge, and it's awesome to hear the energy. They bring so much to our team, and when they're loud, we play a lot better.
Very nice. Which player would make the best teacher?
I would probably say myself. I feel like I teach the guys every day, just their individual skills, and yeah, I'm a good leader.
Okay. Which superhero movie are you and why?
I would say probably Deadpool.
Okay.
I would say I'm a lot of energy, and you know, I think I'm a fun person.
Okay.
So yeah, probably Deadpool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.